I'm Brian Watt, and construction stopped on the Buckingham Place senior apartment complex behind me 3 years ago because of bankruptcy problems, default problems, and this senior living facility sits on a tract of land in South Los Angeles that city officials and developers have been trying to overhaul for more than a quarter of a century. It's called Marlton Square now, but back when Martin Luther King Boulevard was called Santa Barbara Boulevard, the square used to be a shopping center known as Santa Barbara Plaza. More than a quarter of a century ago, Los Angeles Mayor Tom Bradley called for the redevelopment of the large property adjacent to the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza Mall. It's been a mess ever since.
I've only been in office since 2003, and yet I've been to at least 4 groundbreakings on this facility.
That's Los Angeles City Councilman Bernard Parks standing in front of the Buckingham Place Senior Apartments. It's the only structure in the area that looks new because it's not finished.
And so we can see that those groundbreakings did not take us anywhere.
Some of Buckingham Place's 60-plus units have carpeting and cabinets, but 3 years ago, construction stopped on the affordable housing complex when its developer stopped paying contractors. LA's Community Redevelopment Agency has bought some of the Marlton Square property and has brought on a new developer to finish Buckingham Place. Regional Administrator Carolyn Hull says that's just the beginning of a multi-use development its neighbors have waited for decades to see.
The entire history of this project has been compromised by the fact that there were so many ownership structures and so many tenants over the years. It was almost impossible to actually do a development on this project until you actually had site control. And that's what we now have. But the most important thing for this community is to get rid of this blight. So
with that, Hull points past garbage and a weedy field to old buildings on Santa Rosalia Drive. The plan is to tear them down, along with worn-out structures on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Within months, you'll see demolition. Within months, you will see contractors here back at work. We're talking fast track.
You know, 1 minute, they're saying that they're going to be moving in, and then about a month later, you see the fences up. Then 2 months later, they say it's not going to move in. Somebody ran off with the money. And
72-year-old Barbara Alark has a right to be skeptical. She's lived across the street from Marlton Square for 30 years. The abandoned buildings have attracted crime that's made her feel unsafe at night, and she's longed for businesses and restaurants within walking distance.
And as far as being a black person, they say try to keep your money in the community. Well, when you try to keep it in the community, somebody's going to come along and tear it down, So I have to go to Beverly Center, Westwood, and all those places out that way, to get something decent.
Ken Lombard has built something decent down the street, and he says he wants to do more. He's president of Capri Urban Partners, owner of the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza Mall. Lombard says the blight of Marlton Square has made it hard to convince prospective investors that developing the property would be worth their while.
Because as you come and you tour and they see this, it makes parts of the leasing story extremely difficult.
Lombard was in business with former Laker star Magic Johnson, another businessman who took a crack at redeveloping Marlton Square and got bogged down in its complexity. Some people consider the project Exhibit A of bad fiscal management by the Community Redevelopment Agency, but Lombard said the agency has hung in there through difficult times. L.A. City Councilman Bernard Parks, who's running for re-election, was quick to defend the agency known as CRA 2.
And when we hear things such as the state getting ready to get rid of CRA and all of the things to save money, I will tell you personally, we would not be here today if CRA-LA was not involved in this project.
After this latest groundbreaking, the property's neighbors say they're eager to know where the development of Santa Barbara Plaza will be tomorrow. Brian Watt, 89.3 KPCC.